Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel, and today I have this week's F1 news update. And there's a few things to go over this week, but not a massive amount. But let's get into it, because there are some pretty big things. So, first of all, going back to last week, I don't think I talked about this in last week's video, but Aston Martin and Honda specifically have now indeed fired up their 2026 engine for the first time, and they have put the audio of it onto Instagram via a reel. I love it. These cars are going to sound so much better than the cars we've had since 2014. Like, seriously. I think they have probably increased the rev limiter, so the cars won't be screaming as much as they used to in the V8 and V10 era, but they are going to sound a bit more powerful. Like they sound like they have actual power going into them. Because let's face it, before they sounded quite drony and quite, well, kind of sounded like they were just going to die at a moment's notice. But these cars sound like they actually have some power in them. Now, granted, the previous engines, the V6s, they did have some power in them. A fair bit of power as well. But these ones now sound like they have it. Now, speaking of the new regulations, the FIA have posted yet another video running through everything new with these 2026 cars. And I will actually post that video down in the description for you to go and check it out for yourselves, because it does give us a full rundown of the new regulation of cars. And also, I'll put the Aston Martin Instagram in the description as well, so you can go and check out the 2026 engine audio for yourselves as well. But yeah, there's a lot of new stuff to talk about with these new cars, so again, I will leave that video in the description for you to go and check out for yourselves. It's about 8 minutes long, so it's not massively long, but there is a lot of information within that video, so get ready. Like, these new cars are a massive overhaul from the previous cars that we've had from 2022 to this year. Now, let's move on to some news surrounding the upcoming season, and actually a bit into the future as well, because it was confirmed only yesterday that Max Verstappen will be running the number 3 on his car, as opposed to the 33 he used to run with. This is because number 3 was the number he wanted originally, but Daniel Ricciardo had it, so he couldn't use it. Now that Daniel Ricciardo is gone, he can now use it, but usually the wait period is 2 years before a number becomes available. So to get it now, Max has had to ask Daniel Ricciardo for his permission. Obviously Daniel Ricciardo said yes, because one, he doesn't plan to return to F1 ever, and he's also very good friends with Max, so it's not a major surprise. And this was semi-confirmed when in Estoril a couple of days ago, Max was actually testing out a Mercedes GT3 car for his team, Verstappen.com Racing. So maybe Max is planning to run a few cars, because of course he has Porsche 911s, he has Ferrari 296 GTBs, and now he's testing out Mercedes. So maybe he's planning to run a Mercedes in another category, because I know he runs, well, I don't remember which car he runs in which series, but maybe he's planning to add Mercedes to another category. I don't know. So that was how we found out that Max was planning to run the number 3 next year, and then yesterday it was confirmed by Red Bull and Max himself. Now, let's move on to the final major bit of news, and this is actually surrounding the 2027 and 2028 seasons. During the pandemic, F1 raced in Portugal, in Portimao, and in 2027, that track is going to return. I'm happy about this because I actually really like that track. So I am glad to see it coming back, and I'm very curious to see how these new, much smaller cars are going to handle this track, because obviously The cars were still quite bulky back then, but now they've started to shrink in both width and length front to back. So, yeah, I'm very curious to see how, well, in fact, how these new cars are going to handle across all the tracks F1 races on. Especially Monaco, because of course that track has been notoriously difficult the last few years, given the fact that the cars have just kept growing and growing and growing. But now they've started shrinking again, it might be a bit more manageable. Who knows? But yeah, that is it for this week's F1 News Update. Again, not many things going on, but some big things that have been going on. So I'm very glad this week has happened, and hopefully next week we get some more big news, because of course the 2026 season is strangely very close. So please, like the video, subscribe to my and Roxo's channels. Her link is down in the description. My sub button is down there. Please click those, then the bells, to get both sets of our notifications. Comment as well, because why not let me know what you think of all I've talked about today. And once you've done that too, please follow me on my social medias. They'll be in the link tree in the description, along with the F1 2026 regulations rundown video from the FIA, and also the Aston Martin engine audio from the Aston Martin Instagram. Well, the Aston Martin Instagram itself will be in there, but you'll be able to find the audio in their reels. And lastly, of course, please do share this video with all of your friends so they can join the infinite loop of liking, subscribing, commenting, following, and sharing, and around and around and around that loop. And I will see you all tomorrow with another video. Goodbye!